And so what would you say, like what was your biggest struggle? Like what was the main thing that you felt like really held you back?
Getting my model. Getting my model was a big struggle because I first tried to figure out what I want to do, whether I want to be a swing trader, whether I want to scalp. And I figured out on my own that I'm much better scalping because
Mhm.
the trades finishes fast, they're short.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
if I'm wrong, I find out in a few minutes. And that really triggered my model. And basically I just fractalized the whole IPDA strategy. So I'm scalping using the 1 minute candles,
Okay.
and I'm using the hourly candle as my higher time frame narrative.
Wow.
Mm. And then I'm looking for the signatures in price, which I was taught at IPDA. So I figured out that if price is fractal, then surely the signatures will be seen also on the 1 minute time frame. So it took me a while to study, and I got better after I was step reading.
Hmm.
So backtesting was not as much as helpful, but when I started tape reading and seeing price on the live markets, then I figured out I could trade it.
Okay, let's talk about that. So because some guys are more uh they're pro back test, right? Whereas other guys are they feel that before testing the live experience, it serves them a better purpose. And I think that's what I'm hearing from you. And
Yeah,
so during that live test, what were you doing? What were some of the things you were doing to kind of make sure that it really served the purpose for
first I said I won't trade at all.
you? Hmm.
So I wasn't trading at all. And then I figured out that because it's a 1 minute time frame, so I need two screens.
Yeah.
So I used to divide my trading view, and I used to look for the SMTs.
Hmm.
And then I basically used my 1 hour candle as my daily candle.
Yeah.
So I was using the high and the low of the hourly candle. And
Yeah.
I struggled a bit to figure out trading over there. But then as soon as I started using the opening price of the 1 hour candle,
Yeah.
and then things just changed up. Like there are some things which I saw there which was completely making sense, because usually people complain about the 1 minute time frame.
Mhm.
Like it's not so clean, or it's not as precise as the higher time frames. But then when I saw how much importance the opening price had, like there are many instances in the day whereby when you look at the opening price, it's giving you the exact support, like exact peep, not even a single pipette is lost, like it's the exact peep. So I figured out that before I wasn't using the opening price as much.
Yeah.
But like for instance, I will get a breaker in the previous 1 hour candle, and it will come back to retest and get support from the opening price of the
Wow.
new 1 hour candle.
Yeah.
And I had my mind really focused. I was not going for like big RR trades.
Hmm.
That's why I purposely took a challenge whereby you only allowed to make 2% a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the best for me. So I wouldn't overtrade, and it even gave me more than 1:2 RR. So that's how I passed my challenge.
All right, cool. So talk to me about that. So what exactly have you achieved so far? So was this just a challenge that you passed? Are you actually funded now? Um,
Yeah,
what
I'm
what
basically
exactly?
funded now. I'm
Wow.
basically funded. So I wanted a bigger account just to lower my risks. Like I didn't
Yeah.
care of how much money I actually make, but I just wanted to make a decent amount. But I needed a bigger account. So I first bought a small challenge. And
Hmm.
then from there, I figured out once I get the profits, I can actually get the biggest account that they offer.
Yeah. Yeah. You can start scaling. And who are you funded with now?
I'm funded with my funded FX.
Okay, cool, great, great. They're pretty great firm. And
Yeah.
so you're funded with my funded FX.
Yeah.
So talk about the journey, because this is one of the biggest questions from a lot of guys that want to join FX is, how long is it going to take me to get funded and all that stuff. So kind of speak about that from the time you joined FX until now finally getting funded. How long has that journey been?
I started in January.
Okay.
So first, I had been in my mind that I will not trade. Like if I'm not sure what I'm doing, then there's no point of trading.
Yeah.
So first, I went through the mentorship. I looked at the models that are provided in the mentorship,
Mhm.
and those models are the ones that actually made me get my own model.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So
great.
basically, if there's someone who is joining IPDA X, I will recommend them to first finish the mentorship,
Mhm.
then try and figure out what they're good at. Like I figured out on my own that I couldn't wait. I was not patient enough to wait for 2 days or 3 days.
Yeah.
So, but and then you guys taught about the fractal nature of price.
Mhm.
So I figured out if the fractal nature of price works also on the lower time frame, then this model should also work on the lower time frame.
Mhm.
And then after that, I studied for around 2 to 3 months, and then I was just step reading live. And then after that, I gained my confidence is when I went to purchase the challenge.
Wow. That's great, man. So probably right at about 6 or 7 months of
Yeah,
just
6 to 7 months. Yeah.
yeah. And it sounds like you had a pretty great you had a pretty great structure around how you jumped in, you went through the material, then you figured out what resonated with you as a trader. You were honest with
Yeah.
that, and then you did some testing, some live testing, and then you went and you took a leap of faith, and it has served you. That's great, man. That's great. I was super excited to see that message because I know you had hit me up a few times and you were I guess you were kind of forming your model. You had a few questions here and there, and I could tell you were putting something nice together. So it's great to actually see you benefit from that. So one thing in IPDX that you felt really made the light bulb go off for you.
Was basically the structure of half price books.
Okay.
So before the mentorship, I didn't understand, and I was just trading blindly. Like if you say, for instance, fair value gaps,
Mm-hmm.
like at the moment price reaches a fair value gap, I either get a long or a short, and that's what I was doing, and that's why I was failing. So when I went to IPDAX, you guys actually showed me like what to do when price gets to, for instance, a fair value gap, like looking for instance, the swing lows or the swing highs. And basically the two signatures in price, they really help because those are the only ways that price will either go up or down.
Yes. Yes.
So I basically understood that you're moving from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
And when it gets to point B, you either have a continuation or you have a reversal. So
Exactly.
it's time to get it's time to apply the knowledge that you guys gave us. For instance, you look for the signatures in price,
Mm-hmm.
and those signatures will get you a trade. And my goal was just to get a 1:2 RR. So that was enough for me. Like I figured out if I get a 1:2 RR and I'm consistent, then I'm fine with it. I
Yeah.
don't care if someone shows me a trade of 1:8 or 1:10, because that's not realistic. It doesn't happen every day, but 1:2 happens every day.
Yes, absolutely. And you only got to be right 50% of the time. And mathematically, you have to be profitable, right? And it sounds like,
Yes.
so from what you mentioned, this is one of the things that is common is guys being great with the lower time frame context, but not really understanding how to align that with the higher time frame framework. And it sounds like that's one of the things that you really picked up. And that's why the
Yeah.
curriculum is the way it is. We start out, we go through those very first 4 lectures where it only clarifies and clears up any misconceptions that we have about framework. And then the entry stuff is the easy stuff, right? Because you were able to go and build a model. And what entry protocol are you using? Are you using Model X or are you using something slightly different?
I have um, I have quite a few methods that I use for entries.
Okay.
But I also use Model X as my
Mhm.
entry, but you don't expect Model X to appear every time.
Yes, exactly.
So first, like I use Model X, then I use breakers.
Hmm.
I either use mitigation blocks or I look for inversions.
Hmm.
So those are the entry methods, or I look for support at the opening price of the new candle.
Yeah.
And sometimes also you can get support from the previous candle's opening price. So basically, I'm just trying to figure out where liquidity is, and if liquidity is grabbed and I get a signature in price, then I'm inside the trade.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Cool, man. And just I guess last question, how significant is it that these guys watching join the IPDA boot camp and really leverage, one of the greatest opportunities for growth in the space? How significant would you say that is?
I would say IPDAX really opened up my eyes because without IPDAX, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Because there is no other mentorship where I've seen like ICT is you can say ICT is full of knowledge. It's like a library that
Mhm.
teaches you how to trade, but bringing those pieces together and understanding what price wants to do or where it's moving from point A to point B, I just found out that through IPDAX, like this is what you have to follow. That's how price is booking. That's how you're either going from A to B or you're going from A, B to C.
Mhm.
And liquidity was also important. Like you guys showed us just in the start, like my first lecture when I went through the private mentorship, you guys taught us how price engineers liquidity.
Mhm.
So basically on the 1 minute time frame, there's a lot of engineering before
Yeah.
the actual move happens. So things like my eyes just started opening up and I figured out I could do this. It was not that complicated as it looks.
Great, man. That's wonderful. And this is actually my last question. So, what are your goals at this point? What's the next steps for you?
I've actually used a lot of money trying to figure out how to trade. So right now I'm very sure that I'm going to recover everything.
Mhm.
Then after that, my goal is getting a bigger account, and I'm happy with a bigger account. Like if you get a big account and you're making like 3 to 4% a month, I'm seriously happy with that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Hey, 3 to 4% a month, that comes out to around roughly about 40% a year. That's a great annual return, right? I
Yeah.
mean, hedge funds,
Yes.
most hedge funds don't even make that, and they're managing billions of dollars.
Yeah, I figured out like even after I found my model, like I was asking you questions and you are still replying to me. So I already know if I'm stuck somewhere, I know I know who to text.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, always, bro. Well,
Yeah.
actually, we could do this. If you want to take like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, if you could share your screen, show maybe one trade that you took within the recent weeks, maybe even one of those trades that actually passed this phase to get funded. That would be great.
Yeah, I can do that. So this is first how I usually mark my charts. I have euro on one side, I have GBP USD on one side,
Mhm.
or if I'm trading gold, then I have gold on one side, I have silver on the other side. So basically, I'm looking for pairs where I can find SMTs.
Okay.
So this was Monday, and I'm already like marking the high and the low of the hour.
And these boxes that I'm seeing, these boxes are 1 hour candles,
Yeah, the boxes are 1 hour candles. Yeah,
and the red line is the opening price.
the red line is the opening price. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. And so I'm guessing that you're looking for SMT once price breaches that opening price, or
Yes, I'm looking for SMTs at the opening price or either the previous hour's candles high or low.
okay, got it.
Like this box is the Asian range.
Hmm.
So usually we have a Judah swing after the Asian session. So
Hmm.
like price is using the protraction, the period,
Hmm.
while it's going to London, it's preparing itself.
Hmm.
So over here, I can already see that we have changed the structure. We were bullish and now we are going down. We are bearish.
Hmm.
So when I look at this candle, that's the first candle after the Asian range. It has already started. And when euro has to go up here, GBP has also taken out. So I already see an SMT here.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
already see an SMT. So
Hmm.
after I've seen the SMT, I'm waiting for my change instead of delivery because that's how I'll figure out that whether I'm going to take the trade or I'm not going to take the trade.
Hmm.
And then look at the magic of the opening prices. Like for
Yeah.
instance, this candle here, if I look at this candle, the opening price is 1.28142. And look at the high of this, the candle at my cursor on GBP USD, it's
Well,
1.28142, exact to the peep.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is some mad stuff, bro. And I can also see Model X in there also. We won't point it out, but Model X is right there as well.
Yeah, I can see it on GBP USD here. That's a
Yeah.
Model X. Yeah.
So would you say the model that you've been able to kind of create based on what you learned in FTX, would you say this model is as super as simple as maybe two or three steps, if not maybe four? Like how simple would you say your model is?
The model is very simple.
Mm.
So once you can see the model on the charts, what I was shocked was with the RR it gives you. Like
Okay.
for instance, this trade here. So yeah, coming out of the Asian range and you have a bearish institutional order flow.
Mhm.
So if I'm entering at the opening price and I'm on a 1 minute chart, so obviously my stop loss is not as big as the higher time frame.
Yeah.
For instance, if I'm entering here, then I'll use the high of the start of the new candle.
Mhm.
I'll use the high of the model itself.
Mhm.
And if I'm basically just targeting 50% of the Asian range or the Asian range low, then look at the RR, it's like 1:8.
Mhm. But even so, but even though RR is hot, right? You've been very systematic in saying that you're only taking two R, or are you
Yeah,
actually?
I'm so I don't stick to 1:2 RR.
Okay.
Depending on the price action that it's giving me,
Mhm.
uh, I'll, I will wait for me to get the 2 RR. And if I still see the institutional order flow is bearish, then I'll trail my stop loss
Okay.
to 1 is to
Got-
2.
Gotcha.
So if it goes against me, I'll still have a 1:2 trade. But if it doesn't go against me, then I'm basically laughing.
That's wonderful, man. And so you're only trading two assets, just pound USD, Euro USD.
I'm only trading Euro USD and GBP USD because I figured out there is no point of trading more assets.
Mhm.
If this method is giving me a guaranteed 1:2 RR, then what else do you need as a trader?
Yeah. And how many opportunities would you say you see on a weekly basis?
I will say not even on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, like 1 day of full 1 day of trading,
Mhm.
I will get these same opportunities. I will get like almost 3 to 4 of them.
Wow, wow. And I'm sure you've probably filtered out which ones are the most highest in probability.
Yes, I have figured that out, and I don't increase my risk.
Mhm.
So I, my mindset is very clear. Like if I'm just risking like let's say $600, then that's it. I wouldn't go higher than that or lower than that.
We started January, and then now, the progress,
Yeah,
the journey, the work that you put in, bro. I want to be the first to commend you, at least the first on the FX side to commend you, and say thank you for being a motivation. I'm sure somebody will watch this and find motivation, and see that, hey, I can start from here. And if I want to achieve this, I can achieve it. So big,
definitely they will.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, they will if they really concentrate on Model X, then I don't see them failing. So that's
That's
all because of the Model X. Because
mm,
if you get a Model X in such a scenario, the probability really goes up.
yeah, yeah, wildly. Wow, man. All right, well, cool. I won't take too much more of your time, brother. Like I said, I thank you so much for for checking in and getting this done. Um, what I'll do is at some point might even look into this, and maybe this helps somebody else. Maybe somebody else might like this model. Really textbook. I like it.
Yeah,
Well, cool, man. All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll be in contact. Keep me updated on the journey, and we'll be talking soon.
sure. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Thanks, bro.
Thanks.